HCD TV, from the publishers of Healthcare Design, providing expert insight into the design, architecture, and engineering of healthcare environments. Online, in print, and in person. HCD TV.
We're here with Ray Pentecost and Ron Smith. Ray, tell us a little bit about yourself, your organization, and why you choose to come to the Healthcare Design Show all these years.
I'm an architect. I'm the Director of Healthcare Architecture at Clark Nexen. I'm the past president of the AIA, Academy of Architecture for Health, and I've been coming to this event because it's a source of great useful knowledge as we practice.
What do you look forward to the most about coming to the event?
I tend to focus on the things that are additive to what architects do. Many of us spend a lot of time looking at architecture, but at a conference like this, there's also the opportunity to get content beyond architecture, the content on things that are impacting architecture. I find that that's particularly useful to find out what's happening legislatively, or trends in finance, or trends in technology, or trends in patient care, or results from surveys on satisfaction and productivity, things like that, because those are the things that we as architects can factor into the design experience to get a better product. By our nature, we are integrators. It's what we're trained to do. It's how we think. It's what we do best, I think. And the opportunity to inform that integration with good content allows us to do the second thing that we are most often asked to do, and that's innovate. And when we come to these conferences, we are further empowered to integrate with deeper understanding, and I think it improves our innovation and our final product.
And finally, the economy has started to show some signs of life. Had it affected the business for you and in general the industry, and are you starting to see some more relief there? Your thoughts?
Well, the economy is one of what I would say are three of the forces that have come together in much like a perfect storm. We see the economy has created a stress unto itself, yes, but we also see the impact of healthcare reform. The uncertainty has created a stress uniquely there. And the third thing that we see happening in this particular industry is the impact of research. There's a transformation in practice around trying to use research in a prudent way to improve our design work. Well, the force of an economy that's struggling, legislation that's causing uncertainty, and the need, almost a mandate to incorporate research thinking in our design means that a forum like this is a great place to come, because we see the influence of those three forces on design that has already happened, and we're also exposed to content on those three forces that can inform our designs going forward.
Ron Smith, tell us a little bit about yourself professionally and your organization, and a little bit more about the association that you are now current president of.
I'm currently the president of the Academy of Architecture for Health. I'm president and CEO of a small consulting company, Design at the Intersection. And I have been coming to this conference for all of the 9 years that it's been underway, and as well as the predecessor to it, which was for us our Academy Fall Conference. We've gone from a small professional group of 400 or 500 people at a conference to a broad multidisciplinary conference of 4,000 people. And the kind of information that's available and is shared, the kind of connections that we make with people across the industry at this event is something that empowers all of us to take our practices to the next level every year.
For the industry in general, what sort of maybe regulations and policies that affect facility design. Can you comment a little about that?
Because of the uncertainty of policy directions and the pressures of the economy, there's a lot of creative thinking going on.
Right.
And I think that where that is going to end up is a mystery at this point, but it's really a kind of an exciting time. Although there's a certain amount of pain to it, with a reduction in the amount of work that is actively going on right now. But I think it's giving a lot of us a pause to reflect and think about what can we do to help solve the current questions about how care can be delivered more efficiently, with better quality and at lower cost, which is, I think, the implication of where we are headed in the industry. So with the kind of research that has been going on over the last 10 years and talked about and shared at this conference, that's giving us a basis for moving ahead with innovative solutions to solve the problems that are facing the industry right now.
Now, you are the current president of the Academy.
Yep.
You're migrating out of this position. Do you have any words of wisdom for the incoming president? And can you just share a little bit about your experience as president?
One of the best parts of the experience is the networking, the ability to work with some of the greatest architects in the country who are healthcare architects, but also to interact with the emerging professionals and students that are going to replace us. The Academy has a very strong emphasis on providing programs and incentives and motivation for students who are interested in healthcare architecture, as well as emerging professionals who graduated in their first 5 years of practice. I just came from our student charrette jury a few minutes ago, and that is always such a invigorating experience to see 4 teams of students from different universities, that many of them looking at a healthcare project for the first time. And the interaction between them and the senior members of our profession, mentoring them and advising them, and that interaction between the two is something that is very precious to us as a community.
Thanks very much for joining us here on HCD TV. Enjoy the rest of the event, and hopefully we'll see you next year in Phoenix. Thanks.
HCD TV, from the publishers of Healthcare Design, providing expert insight into the design, architecture, and engineering of healthcare environments. Online, in print, and in person. HCD TV.